Good morning and welcome back to day 18 of our $20,000 December challenge. So we have got 2 jobs to go and do today, and then we've got 3 estimates to go out and do. So today is Friday. It is, yesterday was Christmas. So I wasn't able to really get any work done as for like new ads or anything like that, estimates. What I was able to do though was respond to a bunch of people, new leads that were coming in. So I believe it was Wednesday, we posted some new ads and they're performing exceptionally well. I have got a whole bunch of new leads coming in. As of this morning, I've got 5 new leads to message. So what that means, I'm really hoping to work this weekend. I really need to get to work this weekend to be able to hit this goal. I had originally had 3 jobs scheduled for today, but one of them wanted to reschedule until their family was out of town. More holiday drama. So what that means is we really got to get some jobs sold for the weekend. I'm waiting to hear back on a couple of people. There's one job, I believe it's an $800 job, roof clean, that he's looking to get it done really quick. In other words, really soon. I told him I could do it Saturday, but he still said that he wanted to shop around. So hopefully that guy will message me back and say that he wants to do it today so that I can get that scheduled for tomorrow. But really what I'm going to end up doing, I believe, is once I get to our first job of the day, I'm going to respond to all of those messages and shoot a message out to any of the new leads to hopefully get some jobs scheduled. Because I didn't have a third job for today, so this will end up being like a $500 day. Really not a good day. It'll be actually a bit closer to 600, but even still, not a great day. So because of that, I ended up scheduling 3 in-person estimates. Because of the holidays, I'm not going to be actually getting to talk to these people, which is unfortunate because when doing a roof clean, you can really do more selling. When you're doing a roof clean, which is a little bit higher ticket, it's a lot easier to actually sell the job versus just giving people a price and hoping people like the price. So that kind of sucks, but either way, 3 estimates, I should get at least one of those. I've got my hopes high here, and I'm ready to hopefully get a good day in and get some new jobs sold. Anyways, that's kind of the update, so I think I will get back with you once we are at our first job. All right, so we've made it to our first job of the day. I'm trying to like hide in a hole here because the wind is so ridiculous, I don't think you'll be able to hear me. But doesn't look bad at all. Nothing more than what the picture showed. So I'll show you here in a sec what it's looking like, but we're looking pretty good for time. So we'll get this knocked out. I got all the messages responded to, all the new leads, and so now it's just waiting on responses and then getting some estimates done today. So anyways, here I'll show you. Alrighty, I have just finished up with our first job of the day. Came out good, just took a little bit longer than I was hoping it would. It's currently 12:30, so that took us about 2.5 hours. Actually, I take that back, it took us about 2 hours because I sat in the truck for almost a half hour sending out messages. So anyways, we are on to our second job of the day. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to report. I have horrible service here, and so I don't think, if anybody has messaged me back, I haven't seen the messages come through. So hopefully once we head to our next job, we'll have a little bit better service and be set up a little bit better. So anyways, that's kind of that. So I will see you once I am there. I'll let you know if I have any more updates. All right, we are officially at our second job. Really doesn't look too bad. There's not a whole lot of debris. He's got gutter guards. These are scuppers, so they're a little bit different to clean, but no big deal. I am noticing a bit of moss growth, so I will have to let him know. Maybe do a powder treatment, we'll see. And there's this little roof here. This is what we're working with. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to it. So we ended up finishing off that job. That job went super smooth. I ended up talking to him about doing a moss removal, unfortunately, because I had estimates to go and do, and I finished and it was already getting dark just because I kind of started late. So I didn't have a chance to try and do any of that removal that day, but I did talked to him about it, let him know and that he had a moss problem and that we probably needed to do a powder treatment and do a moss removal. So that's probably going to be something in the future to take care of. As for the estimates, I went out, I had 3 estimates to go and do. All I did was just drive by them. One of them was a pretty nasty roof cleaning. I have not sold that one. It would be on it's kind of like a double wide trailer style or manufactured home. So it actually it would be a pretty good job. It was just a lot of moss that was up there. So ended up selling that one, or not selling that one. Ended up sending that one out to her, and I believe that one was somewhere around the $700 or $800 range. And then I had 2 others that I sent out. One of them was $545 after tax for gutter cleaning and powder treatment. I don't remember what the other one was. I think that one was a smaller powder treatment. But I have not had a confirmation from any of those, so unfortunately, we are going into the weekend with pretty much no jobs sold. So hopefully we can hear back from some people, maybe get a job sold, and hopefully do something this weekend. But as it sits, that's kind of where we're at right now. So because it is Friday, we get to go over how we did. So it was really not a crazy good week. I was really hoping to do better than this, but with those ads that didn't perform when I needed them to, because my mistake was attempting to try out a new advertising style during this challenge. I should have done that after the challenge, but oh well. So ended up doing not quite as well as I was hoping to. I really did not hit my mark this week. So hopefully we can make up for a little bit next week. So because it was the week of Christmas, it was also very difficult to get anything scheduled anyways. And, trying to communicate with customers when they've got family or they've got family at their house or they're out at some other family's house. So anyways, we only got to work 2 days. One of the days was pretty good. The other day was not so good. So it averages out to being decent. The first day, which I believe was Tuesday, that we actually went out and did a job, we did a total of $1,126.50. So we went back to a job that I went and did a little bit earlier in the season, just a gutter cleaning. And then the second one was a tile roof cleaning. So I'm glad that I got to do some recording of that because I like tile roofs. That was our big day of the week. And then our second day of the week, unfortunately Friday, we only did a total of $598.55. So that's today we didn't do as well. I got some estimates sent out. Hopefully I'll hear back from them, and I can maybe get something scheduled over the weekend. But as of right now, that's where we're sitting, and we're sitting at a deficit. So what that brings us to for week 4 is a total of $1,725.05. So really did not hit our mark this week, but that's kind of part of how this stuff goes. When you have a big holiday, during this stuff, it really gets more difficult, especially when in this challenge, because I really started from zero at the beginning of this month. I should have still had been able to get jobs scheduled out in advance versus kind of being this last minute, trying to sell jobs for tomorrow, that kind of thing. But again, because of that ad not performing and having to make new ads and there being a little bit of a time delay on that, that really kind of set me up to not be able to do quite as well this week. So anyways, it's a learning experience, and that's just how stuff goes. You can't start, that's the big thing that you always hear in this entrepreneurship business game, is that you can't start when it's perfect to start, because there's no perfect time to start, and so this is just a good example of it. So anyways, really hoping that we can still hit our mark. There's still a chance, but I gotta do some jobs this weekend, so we'll see. So anyways, I really appreciate you following along. I'm gonna leave it here. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments section, and thank you for watching. I will catch you the next time I've got an update, hopefully over the weekend, with a job that we're going out to go and do.